The One Piece Season 2 live action was pretty great. It was pretty damn great. And if you couldn't tell, I had just woken up. I was definitely curious to see how they would do Little Garden and especially Chopper. I was like, oh, I wonder how they're going to bring this into the real world. They did pretty good. I was definitely surprised, especially at Chopper. I thought he wasn't going to be on screen for a lot to save the budget, but he was there for a good amount of time, except for, yeah, he was there for a good amount of time. And I like how it's not a complete one-to-one to the anime. They do change a lot of things, and especially for the better. For example, one of my favorite things they added was fucking Zoro's trauma to fighting Mihawk. That was pretty cool. And like, his whole fight during Whiskey Peak. Holy shit, that fight was incredible. But yeah, he was like fighting all the Barrack Works members, and then he like Mihawk's right there in the corner. I beat your ass, and this is what you do. Like, it was pretty fucking good. The CGI overall, it's good for the most part. There's some parts where I'm like, okay, like especially for the giant. I think they nailed the giants for the most part, but there's like a scene where Nami and Usopp are talking to Brogy, and like you could clearly tell like how fake it is, but it's fine. I didn't really mind that much. It was just like, wow, you could totally see what they did there, but it was fine. And then also Luffy's fruit. Honestly, they kind of did better with the CGI for the Gum Gum fruit. They nailed it. Maybe I just got used to it or something. I don't know, but I think they did something different and it looks better now than it did in season 1 at times. They also introduced Sabo like right there, which I thought was pretty smart to do because it's like it sets up more of an emotional connection with Sabo, unlike in the anime where he only comes out after spoiler Ace's death. That's probably like I should have gave you guys more time for that spoiler. I'm sorry, but it's true. But yeah, after Ace's death, Sabo, that's when we get his backstory and he gets introduced, and then we see his whole part on the Revolutionary Army, which we had no clue he was fucking doing anything at all. So I think this was a good call. But by far, my favorite thing about this season is the dynamics between the Straw Hats. It literally feels like they're the Straw Hats. Like, from being a fucking One Piece fanatic, I love every single Straw Hat in terms of who they are. Like, Usopp pisses me off to this day, especially on Elbaf. He hasn't done a single thing since Water 7 in Enies Lobby. Or actually Dressrosa. But overall, Usopp, this Elbaf was supposed... I'm getting into a whole fucking different thing. But I like every Straw Hat, and I think they nailed the dynamic between each other in live action. Like, when they're on the ship doing their little antics, it's like, okay, this feels like the Straw Hats, which is great. They nailed that perfectly for me. And back to Usopp, I think they fixed a big problem that the season 1 live action had, was that we didn't get too much character depth from Usopp in season 1 because they took out like a whole part of Usopp's character in season 1, which was the whole Kuro arc and the Seer Village arc. But in this one, they definitely boosted it. When they were on Little Garden, when he's watching these giants, hearing the stories, he's like, how do I become a brave warrior of the sea? He's telling him, like, Usopp, you just can't be a bitch and stuff like that. He's like, all right. And overall, it's good. They fixed that. That's pretty nice. Now on to the biggest part, or my biggest problem with the season, and it's Wapol. Now, as someone who watches the anime, Wapol isn't even like a big antagonist, which in this season they made him like the final, I guess not the final villain, but the final villain of the season, which was kind of weird because in the anime and manga, he's fucking fodder. Like, he's there as a placement for like Chopper's backstory, which is fine. I think it works like that, but as like a final villain, they gave him a lot more depth and a lot more background than they did in the anime, which is fine. But it's just like, it's Wapol, and no, I didn't really care for him all that much. I thought he was literally just gonna be like a villain Luffy. I mean, that's what happened. But again, I don't think he was that great as a final season villain. It just didn't make sense to me, I guess. Maybe because I watched the anime. Maybe for non-anime watchers and they solely watched the live action, they probably would be like, oh my god, Wapol, you fucking piece of shit. Yes, yes. But me, I'm like, Sure, that could we could do that. But yeah, that's probably like the biggest problem I had is it was a little lackluster in terms of the finale, but I think they did fine, especially with Chopper's backstory. I think they crushed it. This is like my own nitpick problem. I think when how do I say this? The CGI for when Chopper would cry would be kind of goofy. I thought it looked kind of goofy. Like no shade, he looks great, but like every time he'd cry or something, I'm just like I don't even feel bad. I just wanted to laugh. But I mean, that's just like my own kind of thing. I thought the CGI for when Chopper would like cry, I'd be like, it's kind of goofy. But I guess Chopper's cry is technically goofy in the anime, so that's also balances out. I guess I don't know, but also another problem I had. I'm kind of just rushing through this was Kureha. She was a lot more meaner in the live action than in the anime. I don't remember her being this mean at all. Maybe she was. Maybe I have to like refresh my memory on that. But I don't remember her being this mean. Like when she was talking to fucking no way, I forgot his name. Krillin. I don't Chopper's dad, dude. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I can't believe the quack doctor, bro. I can't believe I don't know his name. I just woke up. I'm drinking a coffee. But anyway, when she came to tell him, like, yeah, you're gonna fucking die, dude. He's like, no, I'm like, please, Kureha, you have to take Chopper and teach him how to be a doctor. Do it for me. And she's like, get the fuck away from me, bro. You're dead. Get away. You're dead. Die. Like she was like that kind of, not really, but along the lines, definitely. And then like also with her relationship with Chopper didn't feel fully fleshed out as it did in the anime. Because at the end of the series, like when Chopper's like, I'm going with the Straw Hats, I'm leaving, whether you like it or not, she's like, oh, you fucking, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, hell no. You want to go play pirates now, you piece of shit, you ugly fuck? Hell no. And then, like, in the anime, at the end of the episode, you could clearly tell she was doing it from the bottom of her heart. She's like, I gotta tell him this. So I can get away from him and it's gonna help me, but it didn't come off as that because she was mean like the whole time. So like in my eyes, she was just doing that because she was mean, and like she didn't really build a good relationship with Chopper in the live action. We didn't see too much like banter between them. That that's my problem. And then like I really hate how she didn't call him her stupid son. That shit kind of I was waiting for him like she's gonna call him his stupid son. She didn't say that. She said I forgot what she said. My stupid like something. Did she say boy? I don't know what she said. I forgot what she said, but she didn't say like my stupid son, and then she starts crying. She didn't say that. I was kind of upset by that. That's just my own. Okay, Ruby. I don't know where you can't. You know, we're gonna let you stay there. I'm just rushing through this shit again. But yeah. Well, I think this video is going on for too long anyway, so I think my that's kind of my blatant review. There's probably other issues I could point out, but for overall, I think they crushed it. And if you've never seen One Piece and you get into it like this, that's great because I think they nailed it. Just like the whole adventure. I loved Little Garden. I think that was maybe my favorite part this entire season. But yeah, that's my review.